What is the purpose of challenging times? What is the purpose of difficulties? We know now that there's war in Israel, and we're all questioning, what are these challenges for? Why are we experiencing this? As I've stated in my previous video, we don't ask why, but we ask what can we do? And with the right perspective, we can understand, what is my purpose here? What do I do next? What do I do with this challenge? And what does Hashem want from me? We're going to hopefully understand what is the purpose of a challenge and answer, why do bad things happen to good people? This is a world that doesn't make sense, where A plus B doesn't always equal C, and things just don't make sense. We don't live in a world where there's, when things always are rational, makes sense, or things are always put into perspective. But we have to trust Hashem. He has the bigger picture. And I hope to share with you ideas on how we can strengthen ourselves to overcome challenges and difficult times. In Pirkei Avot, in 5:3, it says, with 10 tests, our father Abraham was tested, and he withstood them all, to show how great our father Abraham's love was for Hashem, for God. Our forefather Abraham, one of the things that stands out about our forefather Abraham was that he was tested in his life over and over again. His loyalty, dedication, and faith to Hashem were put to the test 10 times. So one test wasn't enough, and it was intensified. The tests were definitely intense. So what is the significance to these tests? Abraham's tests were significant. Why? Because his tests gave us the DNA to overcome tests as well. When Abraham passed his test, he planted something into our spiritual DNA. And the Jewish people have the ability to withstand these tests because of our forefather Abraham. He gave us the ability to overcome challenges and to be able to endure and overcome, succeed through challenging times. What is the point in having a test? Why would Hashem want to test us? So there's two purposes of a test. Hashem doesn't test anyone beyond what he's capable of overcoming. In other words, if you have a test, you are able to overcome it. If you have a difficult person in your life, you are able to have a peaceful relationship with them, whether it involves a lot of hard work on your part or not, or some hard work. Unlike a teacher giving a test to her student or his students, the teacher wants to see what is the progress, or what are the abilities of this student in this subject. This is not how Hashem tests us. If Hashem sends any person a test, it is because he knows they can overcome it. Before a person is tested, he has potential. This person has potential. The test takes that potential and turns it into a reality. At the end of Abraham's 10 tests, something incredibly beautiful happens. The angel called to him and said, Abraham, Abraham. Now, why did he say Abraham, Abraham twice? He called his name twice for a specific reason. And he called his name twice in order to show at that point that that the angel saw that the Abraham above, meaning the Abraham in potential, and Abraham below, the actual Abraham, they were the same. When Abraham passed the tests, he actualized his potential. Now, it is very interesting because in the Hebrew language, the word for test is nisayon, and it has the same root as the word nes, which means miracle. The real test pushes a person beyond their capabilities, beyond their abilities, and therefore, as a result of their efforts and all the abilities and all the tryings that they're putting in, God performs the miracle that they become a bigger person, an expanded person, capable of things that they were not able to do before. The word nes in Hebrew also means banner. In other words, someone who successfully passes the challenges, inspires other people, It pushes other people to work on themselves. They become an example. They become a role model. They come out victorious, like a banner raised up high on a pole. So we have to understand, what are the goals of challenges? The goal of challenge, number one, is to develop ourselves, and number two, to inspire other people. All Hashem needs to do is to see our effort. He wants to see us try to care, try to take the right steps, and He will perform the miracle in putting before you the person you always wanted to be, you aspire to be, and maybe you never thought you could be this person or overcome this challenge, but all you have to do is try, and Hashem will raise that banner, so this way you can inspire other people and become that role model and propel other people to work on themselves as well. I like to look at the word challenge as an opportunity. I don't like the word test. I like the word opportunity. So this opportunity came my way. This challenge came my way in order for me to reveal myself to myself, because Hashem knows how big we are. It's just that we don't know. That's why we conduct ourselves or misconduct ourselves more so. But why? Because we just forget who we are. We forget who we are able to become. We forget our greatness. So we don't want to look at it as a test. We want to look at it as an opportunity. An opportunity, another challenge. This person again mistreated me, or the situation again called for me to be extra patient, or for me to pray more. It's a challenge. It is an opportunity to reveal my greatness and to see how close I want to be to Hashem. Okay. We may have questions. Okay, so I have challenges, but I'm not a bad person. Why do I have challenges? And why do good people have to suffer? Why do good people experience bad things? It says in Pirkei Avot 4:15, Rabbi Anai used to say, we don't have the power to explain either the tranquility of the wicked or the suffering of the righteous. Rabbi Masya ben Harash used to say, be first to greet every person. Be a tail to lions rather than a head to foxes. So why do good people suffer? This is a challenging question to answer. Well, there is an understanding that we have in Judaism that there is a world to come. In other words, we don't live in this world for this world. I don't become wealthy in order for me to enjoy my wealth. I become wealthy if I'm granted wealth as a gift to help others. Why? Because that is what I need to do in this world. That's why I was given that, if a person is given wealth, to help other people. Why? Because I don't live for this world. I live for the next world. I want it to benefit me. Now, ultimately, the goal is to do what you are asked to do by Hashem, because this is your role in life, not because you want to get that reward, but ultimately you will get that reward. Understanding that there is a world to come is extremely important. It helps us understand this world, that this is not where there's reward. That's why this world just doesn't make sense. That's why good people suffer sometimes, and there's pain, and there's so much challenge. And it looks like, the people who are not doing what Hashem wants them to do, they're just living off gold, right? They're just look like they're living the good life. But there's a reason for that, and we will explain further. There isn't enough pleasure in this world to repay the person for the value of a mitzvah. Hashem gives us mitzvot, positive commandments. Why? To repay them in the world to come. There's no way to repay a person in this world, even for a small mitzvah that they've done. You can't even measure a mitzvah. You can't say this is small, this is big. There's no measurement. For Hashem, every mitzvah is equally important. Instead, we get rewarded in the world to come for eternity. And eternity is a very long time. Just like people who mistreat the words of Hashem and mistreat others who observe Hashem's laws, Hashem's commandments, they will pay for eternity, and eternity is a very long time. A person may experience suffering this world in order to correct the negative things that he has done, so he can go to the world to come with a clean slate. And we know we're not here for the first time, right? Many of us have been reborn, as thoughts in Judaism teach. We're not here for the first time, and we've been here in past lives, and we haven't corrected what we need to correct. That's why certain people have certain tendencies, and that's because they still haven't corrected that trait. On the other hand, people who have not develop themselves appropriately according to the world of truth, according to Torah, will get rewarded for their actions, good actions in this world, and won't get rewarded for eternity. In other words, if a person did any mitzvah, Hashem needs to reward them. But if Hashem does not reward them in the world of eternity, He will reward them here. In other words, they will look like they're living the good life. They have no worries, no sicknesses. Everything is going well by them. Why? Because they have a credit card here. They have a credit balance. Hashem says, you know what? I want nothing to do with you in the next world. I'm going to repay it here because I will have to repay you somehow, but I don't want anything to do with you in the next world. This world that we live in, as I said, doesn't make sense. We don't live in a world where things just come clear to us. We live for the next world. So that's why there's no reason to get jealous. Many people may be living off merits, these small merits, big ones, small ones, using this credit balance. And in the next world, it will be a negative surprise for them for eternity. But we don't want to be on that end. It is beyond our human level of understanding or our human ability to understand, to comprehend why good people suffer. We have a limited knowledge of why things happen, but we weren't hired to see the big picture or to judge people. We were hired to do our part, to stay close to Hashem, to have a great relationship with Him, and to have a close relationship with Him. We don't know enough about a person's internal world to judge them. Even in our own lives, situations may seem bad, but we see sometimes how it turned out for the good. Whether it's a person's visit to the doctor, a missed bus, a wrong turn on the highway, allergies to certain foods, unemployment, a divorce, a compromised parent. In the end, sometimes a person does see how the situation has benefited them, had turned out for the best. But that is only a gift from Hashem. Hashem doesn't owe us an explanation for anything. But in the next world, our sages teaches us that we will dance and sing for any challenge that came our way. It will all come together. It will all be clear. We know that in the next world, there is no concept of time, of what happened in the present, what's in the past, present, or future. It's all in one. That is beyond our ability to understand because we do live in the physical world. However, the Torah teaches us that it will all make sense, and we will not only thank Hashem or see the big picture, we will dance and sing for our challenges. The Mishnah advises us to also always initiate a greeting to other people, regardless of who they are. This is to validate the other person. It shows that the person exists. They are not an object. We are personally very into making sure we answer every text message and every phone call. And we pick up the phone, we treat the phone with a lot of respect. But yet when a person is walking by us, do we give them eye contact? Do we give them attention? Do we thank the cashier? Do we thank the mail carrier? Do we thank the sanitation department? The simple things. Do we say hello to our coworkers? No. Many times we treat objects, especially our phones, with so much more dignity and respect. Well, it doesn't have feelings. And people have feelings, and the Mishnah is teaching us here. Go ahead and greet. Go ahead, be the first to greet every person. And then it says, it is better to be a tail to lions rather than a head to foxes. What does this mean? It is better to be a follower of great people, of righteous people, than a leader of lesser people. It is preferable to be not such a distinguished member of a lesser group. It may feel better. However, we learn to develop ourselves when we are part of righteous people who are distinguished, of great people. So I'm going to leave you with some practical tips. Focus on giving others importance and respect while minimizing your need for attention, recognition, and respect for yourself from others. In other words, be sensitive to the needs of others and respect for others. I spoke to a leader at one point, and the person told me, I'm not for everybody. And I didn't say anything back. But my thoughts were, if you're going to lead a group of people, if you're going to be the boss or the employer, you need to be there for everyone. You need to cater yourself for the needs of everyone, because that is a true leader. For example, when you're being sensitive to the needs of others. Invite others even though you're not invited. Call them to this person just to say hi, even when you don't need anything. Say good morning to that forever grumpy person at work. Send a thank you note to someone for something simple they have done that you appreciate. And another practical tip for our, even for mothers who are raising their young families, or it's children of all ages. As mothers, we have to understand that we implant the DNA to our children. Our children are all day long observing us in our homes, the way we act, the way we talk on the phone, the way we greet people, the way we get angry, the way we respond, the way we get frustrated, the way we're patient or impatient. Don't be afraid for the children to see your mistakes. Inspire them, model to them how you overcame them. Tell them how you're working on yourself. Tell them to catch you, how you are working on yourself, to notice it. And repeat the affirmation to yourself. I was created to overcome any challenge that comes my way. I was created to overcome any challenge that comes my way. Appreciating some of the insights of Gila Ross in her book, Living Beautifully. Leah Abramov, Being and Becoming, Awakening Awareness of Your Greatness and Potential.